Eskimos are a group of Asian people who migrated to the cold northern land and settled there. The largest area where Eskimos live is Alaska. Eskimos also have different customs due to their specific location and way of life. Eskimo life. They are very traditional and their lives are influenced by the traditions and customs of the tribes in which they live. The way of life of these people is different from other people due to environmental reasons. Also, the tools and equipment they use for their lives are completely different. They use the bones of the animals they hunt as an efficient tool. Due to the lack of modern facilities, the Eskimos make the best use of nature. For example, they use the fat of the animals they hunt for lighting and heating fuel. Home and food of Eskimos. These people build safe and warm houses for themselves of animals' skin and ice molds that are found regularly in nature around them. They spend long and cold Arctic winter in these houses in complete comfort. An Eskimo uses all the parts of the animals he hunts to prepare his food and clothing. He eats their meat raw and cooked, and uses their skin to make tent for living and clothes for covering. The Eskimos make their summer tent out of deer skin. And in the winter and cold season, they build their house out of the collected wood. And in order for their houses to be durable, they create a hole under it and put the foundation of the house in it. Of course, the houses of these people are built temporarily because they are migrating in different seasons. Among the tribes, they have trained dogs that are very resistant to cold. These dogs are used for carrying sleds and cargo due to their thick wool and strong body. For this reason, dogs are considered valuable and useful animal for the Eskimos. Animal bones are very suitable for making needles and spearheads, and as mentioned, their fat is also used instead of fuel for heating. Eskimos can have vegetables for a limited time of the year, when the damp sun of the North Pole melts some of the snow on Earth's surface. The plants in that area start to grow. People take advantage of this opportunity and collected vegetables and use them in their dishes. Fish is also very valuable for them and all its parts are used. The Eskimos soak the meat in salt or keep it in the snow for the time when it is not possible to leave the house or there is no animal to hunt. Dispersal of the Eskimos. Some may think that the Eskimos were people who lived in the distant past and in the age before technology. But it must be said that today there are about 100,000 Eskimos living in northern Canada, Alaska, Siberia, and Greenland. The life of the Eskimos has changed a lot in the last 100 years due to the arrival of Europeans in the pole. But they still keep many of their past customs and act according to them. Eskimos and the Holy Land. Despite the fact that the North Pole is a very cold and harsh land and seems uninhabitable from the eyes of ordinary people, the Eskimos themselves are based on the belief that their land has a special sanctity and that the spirits of the past, because of their great forgiveness, will visit that land and have given them permission. According to the inhabitants of the Arctic, this region is the best place on earth to live. In the belief of these people, the beautiful beaches of this land, full of snow and ice, the presence of many fish, whales and porpoise, northern hares and reindeer, and many other animals that live in these areas are special and generous gifts. It is from the spirits. The Eskimos believe that different animals exist in this land in order to use their meats and skin for food and clothing. Over the years, the people of this land have been able to invent ways to make the most of the nature around them with their courage and hard work, and have learned to live with peace of mind. Death of an Eskimo. The burial ceremony of the people of the Iceland is also different from others. In the past, they dug large holes as graves and buried several dead people together inside. But nowadays, these graves are dug individually. The Eskimos also bury the tool that caused the person's death with him, because they believe that their use of this tool by other people is not omen and must be destroyed. Another strange behavior that is common among these people is that they leave the old people of each family and clan on a piece of ice in the sea to freeze or die of hunger. They believe that the dead continue to live in another world, so they send the old family members to the afterlife with dignity without having to endure the humiliation of old age. Eskimos live a stressful and difficult life and they have to work hard every day to get food. Old people are not able to do these things and have to use other people's food and clothes. On the other hand, each member of the family has a duty and no one has time to take care of the old people of the tribe. The face and ancestors of the Eskimos. Eskimos are very similar to Mongols and Native Americans. Even their traditions and language are very similar to Indians in some ways. In the distant past, about 5,000 years ago, some people from Asia and the Mongolian region migrated to an undiscovered land and reached the present-day Bering region and Greenland and settled there for a while. Some people stayed and some moved to the southern regions, which is Mexico City, because of the extreme cold. These people are Indians and Native Americans. Those who stayed in the North Pole are called Eskimos. The migrations and integrations of Native American people with each other evokes the face of the Eskimos. Long and smooth, black and shiny hair, dark and small eyes similar to Mongols, broad and bony nose, dark skin that tend to red and prominent cheek indicate Mongols, Eskimos, and Indians, because the ancestors of the Eskimos and Indians are the Mongols who migrated. Also, Eskimos, like Indians, are united and kind people, warm-hearted and family-friendly. What does Eskimo mean? In the past, the word Eskimo usually referred to people living in Alaska, but today the use of this word is not very common. In general, the word Eskimo means raw meat eaters. Today the word Eskimo among the general public refers to people who live in polar regions and have a special appearance characteristics such as almond eyes and short height. How is an Eskimo house built? In general, the house of Eskimos is called igloo. An igloo is actually a hut made of ice pieces. Normally, the average temperature of the polar regions and the regions where the Eskimos live is about 50 degrees below zero. The temperature inside the igloo can range from -7 degrees Celsius to 16 degrees Celsius above zero. The snow used to build an igloo must have sufficient structural strength for proper cutting and stacking. The best snow to use for this purpose is vine-blown snow. And snow that settles easily on the ground in a still air is not useful. Snow insulation properties make the inside of the igloo relatively warm. Usually the entrance door of the igloo is covered with loose snow, deer skin, or fur to reduce the amount of wind and cold air entering the hut, and the difficulty of opening the door. Architecturally, the igloo is unique in that its dome-like structure is built on independent blocks of ice that lean against each other, requiring no additional support structures.